the previous section we have discussed about the number system. We know that the collection of rational numbers and irrational numbers together made up the collection of real numbers. Today we will discuss about the representation of irrational numbers on the number line. Represent root 2 on the number line. First, draw a number line and mark a point O, representing 0 on it. Suppose point A represents 1. So, OA is equal to 1 unit. Now, draw perpendicular AX at A on the number line. And cut off arc AB equal to 1 unit. Take 1 unit in your compass and A as a center. Draw one arc. Mark that point as B. Now, OA is equal to 1 unit. AB equal to 1 unit. Now join OB. Now you will get a right triangle OAB because AB is perpendicular to OA. So angle OAB equal to 90 degrees. So triangle OAB is a right triangle. And we know that OA equal to 1 unit, AB equal to 1 unit. So we are able to find the length of OB by using Pythagoras theorem. OB square is equal to OA square plus AB square. Hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus altitude square. So OB square is equal to 1 square plus 1 square because OA equal to 1 unit, AB equal to 1 unit. So OB is equal to square root of 1 square plus 1 square, that is equal to 1 plus 1 equal to 2. 1 plus 1, that is equal to root 2. OB is equal to root 2. So we got the length OB equal to root 2. Now, draw a circle with the center O and a radius OB. We find that the circle cuts the number line at A1. So, OA1 is equal to OB because they are the radii of the circle. OB equal to root 2, OA1 is equal to root 2 because they are the radii of the circle. Thus, A1 represent root 2 on the number line. Similarly, you can draw root 3 on the number line. For that, you have to draw a perpendicular line at the point A1. Now we know OA1 is root 2 units. So, draw a perpendicular line at the point A1. The same way, take 1 unit and cut the line that cut the perpendicular line. OA is equal to 1 unit. That 1 unit you can take here. Take A1 as a center and mark 1 unit on the perpendicular line. We can name this point as C. Now join OC. See, here OA1 is equal to root 2 unit and A1C is equal to 1 unit. So here we will get a right triangle OA1C. OA1C is a right triangle. The length of OA1 is equal to root 2. A1C is equal to 1 unit. So OC is equal to, using Pythagoras, you can find OC square by hypotenuse square is equal to base square, that is OA1 square plus A1C square, which is equal to root 2 whole square plus 1 square. Here root 2 is equal to root 2 whole square is equal to root 2 into root 2, that is equal to 2 plus 1, which is equal to 3. So here OC square is equal to 3. Therefore OC is equal to square root of 3. We got the length OC is equal to root 3. Now you can draw a circle or draw an arc with O as a center, OC as a radius. Draw one arc. That arc cut the number line at one point. Mark that point as A2. That is representing root 3 because OA2 is equal to root 3. That means OA2 is equal to OC, that is equal to root 3 because they are the radii of the circle. Similarly, you can draw root 5, root 7. Like that you can draw some irrational numbers on the number line. Represent root 5 on the number line. For this, usually we want to draw after representing root 2, then represent root 3, then only you are able to represent root 5. We know that before root 5, it will be root 4. We know root 4 is equal to 2 units. Root 4 is equal to 2. So if you take a right triangle, base is 2 unit and the altitude is 1 unit, then the hypotenuse will be 2 square plus 1 square. So hypotenuse is equal to square root of that. That will be equal to 4 plus 1, that is equal to root 5. So after root 4 only we are able to represent root 5. We know that root 4 is equal to 2. So you can directly draw, you can take directly 2 units. So instead of representing root 2 and root 3, directly you can represent root 5. So for that, draw a perpendicular line at the point. Take 2 units from the center. Now this is the 2 units. You can mark this point as A. At the point A, you can draw a perpendicular line. Now mark 1 unit on this perpendicular line. Measure 1 unit and mark 1 unit on the perpendicular line. Now this OA length is equal to 2 units and this point you can mark it as B. So AB is equal to 1 unit. Now join OB. So we know that the length of OB is equal to OA square plus AB square, that is 2 square plus 1 square, which is equal to square root of 4 plus 1, that is root 5. The length of OB is equal to root 5. Now you can take O as a center, OB as radius. OB as radius, draw one arc that will intersect the number line at one point. Mark that point as P. That point P represent root 5. You can represent irrational numbers in another method also, that is spiral method. First we saw that how to represent root 2, root 3 and so on. Here as usual, how do you represent root 2? The same way, represent root 2, take one base as 1 and altitude as 1 unit. So we are able to represent root 2. Now instead of taking perpendicular at the point A, you can take perpendicular on OB, because the length of OB is equal to root 2 units. Take your protractor, measure 90 degree, draw a perpendicular line. Now this angle is 90 degree. You can take 1 unit on this perpendicular line. So OB equal to root 2. Take 1 unit on the perpendicular line. So here we know this is 1 unit. Measure 1 unit in your compass and take B as a center. Draw an arc on the perpendicular. You will get 1 unit. Now join this point to O. You can mark this point as D. So this dB is equal to 1 unit. OB is equal to root 2 units. So the length of OD is equal to, using the Pythagoras theorem, OD is equal to square root of root 2 whole square plus 1 square, base square plus altitude square, which is equal to square root of root 2 whole square is equal to 2 plus 1 square is 1, which is equal to root 3. So we got the length of OD is equal to root 3. Now you can take your compass, take O as a center, OD as a radius. O as a center, OD as a radius, draw an arc on the number line. So that point is root 3. We can mark that point as P. Now, when you observe, you can see that this length OP is equal to root 3, which is equal to OD, because they are the radii of the circle. OD equal to OP, which is equal to root 3. The same way you can continue with that. You can represent root 4, root 5, etc. So now the OD is the length of OD is equal to root 3. So draw a perpendicular line on this OD. Take your protractor, mark 90-degree angle. Draw a perpendicular line and again continue the process. Mark 1 unit on this. Mark that point as E. Join OE. So this angle is 90-degree. This is root 3 and this unit is 1. So root 3 whole square plus 1 square, that is 3 plus 1, which is equal to root 4. We know that root 4 is equal to 2. Now take O as a center, OE as a radius. Draw an arc. See that exactly touch the point 2. So root 4 is equal to 2. You can mark that point as Q. Now this point is, or this length OE is equal to 2 units. Again you can continue with this. You can draw a perpendicular line on OE. Mark 1 unit. Now join that point. You can mark it as F. Join OF. This angle is equal to 90-degree because it's perpendicular, and this length is 2 unit and this length is 1 unit. So the length of OF is equal to square root of 2 square plus 1 square, which is equal to square root of 4 plus 1, that is root 5. So OF length you got it, root 5, 2 square plus 1 square. OF is the hypotenuse, so hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus altitude square. So OF is equal to root 5. Now take a compass, O as a center, OF as radius. Draw an arc. So you can mark the point on the number line, that is root 5. This way you can continue root 7, root 10, root 11, etc. Like that you can mark it on the number line. In the same way, you can locate root n for any positive integer n after root of n minus 1 has been located. Dear students, I hope that you understand this section.
So today you should write the note. You have to write the heading representation of irrational numbers on the number line. The first question, represent root 2 on the number line. You should write the steps of construction, read textbook, and you should write your own steps. Then construct root 2 on the number line. After that, you can write the next one, represent root 3 on the number line. These two, you should write it in the notebook. Yeah, today's your worksheet is exercise 1.2. And you have one activity also. Question number 4 in exercise 1.2. That's the assignment I give for you. You have to construct a square root spiral. Now you know the spiral method. Construct a square root spiral. You have to construct at least root 15. Maximum up to root 15 you have to construct it. More than that you can, at least root 15 you have to construct. And you can use different color pencils. Thank you.